What's going on with the Los Angeles Lakers? That's my team. That's my bloodline. Like, I love the Lakers, right? Everybody knows that. Everybody knows me. They know I love the Lakers. What's going on? We heard that Joey and Jesse Buss were relieved of their scouting duties. They are no longer a part of any front office dealings with the organization. They still have their minority stake in the company, but they have been let go. And obviously there's reporting out there. They put out a statement. Jesse Buss had an interview and he discussed some things that I want to go ahead and talk about as well. He went ahead and talked about just the fact that the writing was on the wall. Like, he felt that this was coming, especially like when the sale went through. He knew that he was probably going to be the odd man out. And he said he felt like this, like, he's been dealing with the health issue over the last couple of years. We don't know exactly what it is, and he doesn't want to disclose that. That's fine. That's his business. But he said that he's been dealing with this health issue since about 2023. And when he returned to the team, everything was changed. Everything was different. Like, Jesse and Joey Buss, like, when you think about the guys that they have really put their finger on in regards to scouting, Alex Caruso, you got Austin Reeves, you have Kyle Kuzma, you have, like, these guys have found some gems in the draft in the second round. So they've been doing the due diligence and really have taken their job seriously within the organization. Problem is, when your sister's the boss, she's the governor, and y'all not seeing eye to eye, of course that's not going to go well, right? That's the whole problem, is that the fact that there was some riff, I don't know what the hell happened. It got to be a power struggle. She had a power struggle with what's his name? Jim Buss. She had a power struggle with him, kicked his ass out, right? And she looked at them like, y'all motherfuckers next. Y'all next, y'all in my way, right? So once Mark Walter got in charge, he bought the team. She was like, yo, I'll stay around, but can you be able to get those other dudes out? Listen, they voted against you, Mark. They were the only ones here that didn't want you guys to be the majority stake owners here. I was fine with it, but they didn't want it. Of course they didn't want it. They wanted to keep the team within the family. It's been a family-run organization for 40 plus years. But Jeannie Buss really kind of angled her way into pushing her brothers out, keeping her position and keeping Rob Pelinka's position together. Just dirty. It just feels dirty. You know what I'm saying? And with Mark Walter, obviously, they did this with the Dodgers. They have success with the Dodgers. So Joey and Jesse are out. Jesse hopes to have some type of rekindling with his sister. He hasn't really spoken to his sister in like 5 plus months. They haven't talked to Rob Pelinka. You already know Rob Pelinka is a snake like that. Like, you see, him and Magic went through it, right? So we've seen these things with them. But let's talk about the other side of it. Let's talk about what this actually means for the basketball side of things for the Lakers. You have Mark Walter. He's a guy that's behind the Dodgers, and they have a dynasty that's in place right now. They have probably the best front office in baseball. I think they've been elected by the other teams and execs that they're the best ran front office in Major League Baseball. And it shows, right? Their analytic department, their scouting department, their facilities, their biometrics, everything is top notch for the Dodgers to be top tier of where they are. And there's two guys behind that. And I want to go ahead and highlight them because Mark Walter is a smart guy, and he hires smart people to do the job. So you always have to make sure that when you are not somebody who's privy or really knows the ins and outs of certain things, you want to make sure you go ahead and hire the right people, right? So Dodgers executives, Andrew Friedman and Farhan Zaidi, they're going to be they're going to be on the advisory role for the Lakers in regards to putting certain staff in place, improving the analytic department, uh, expanding the scouting department. And that's big because these guys know what they're doing. These guys understand the sporting landscape. They understand Los Angeles. They understand what the market is. And this is not baseball where there's no cap. Of course, there's going to be challenges in regards to how they're going to be able to manipulate what the product looks like on the court. But off the court, there is no cap. So they can be able to go get as many scouts and have the biggest departments. They can do whatever the hell they want to do. And that's what I was talking about in regards to when they switched this over. This was going to be the situation with this organization, is that they're going to put the right people in charge. They're going to go ahead and make sure that everything on the front office side of things is going to be running smoothly. You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty much it, right? The biggest issue I do see, though, is that they let go Joey and Jesse at one of the most clutch times for scouting. You have the season starting up. There's tournaments right now and all this other stuff. And this is when you want to have your scouts going to these tournaments, going to these games, researching, doing all of these things. And if they don't have their guys there right now doing the business, it's a concern. It's definitely a concern to be able to make sure that you're getting ahead of the curve. You don't want to fall behind the curve, but they do have the resources that if they do fall behind the curve, they can be able to, make up some ground in regards to that, because they have the resources, because they know exactly what they're doing. And now I as a Laker fan, I'm excited. I am sad for the Buss family just because they've been around for this long. It's been a mom and pop organization. We know, we love Jerry Buss, rest his soul. Jeannie took it over. She was supposed to be the new Jerry Buss, and that's a lot to deal with. That's a lot of responsibility, and there's too many cooks in the kitchen. She's listening to Linda Rambis. She's listening to Kurt Rambis. She's listening to this guy, to this guy, to this guy. She's listening to Pelinka. Like, it's just too many things going on. And with Mark Walter's like, look, I'm going to keep you in charge, but you better make sure that you make the right decisions. Because if I have to come up here and let your ass go, I will do so. And I will walk you and Rob Pelinka out the goddamn door. You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing, is that she got to make sure that there's this advisory board. There's these board of people that goes over these things and talks about what the plan is, what the future holds, what the short-term goals are, what the long-term goals are, what the medium goals, all of these things. Now they're going to have a trusted team of basketball people that are making decisions. Not just your homie, Linda Rambis, not just her husband that has been one of the worst coaches. And I just get him out. Get him out too, right? Like, that's what you want. You want real basketball people in here. Hell, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. They may have to get homeboy from that used to run Golden State. What's his name? Bob Myers. Get him in here. Get him in here. Get Bob Myers in here. I would love that. I would love that, because you know what you're getting out of Bob Myers. You know what I'm saying? So I think the Lakers are going to be destination basketball or destination organization for a lot of NBA players, for a lot of guys that are on the come up, that say, hey, listen, I want to make sure that I try to see if I can make the Lakers, because I want to be Austin Reeves. Like, I may not be able to be LeBron James. I may not be able to be Luka, but I can be Austin Reeves. Austin Reeves is the model that a lot of these guys that are coming out of college that weren't highly scouted, weren't highly drafted, they're probably not going to go the first round, or even early second round. They're probably going to get drafted somewhere in the second round. And they're saying, rather than me getting drafted in the second round, I'd rather just be an undrafted free agent and go where I want to go and have an opportunity, right? So that's where I see a lot of the Lakers' resources are going to be able to put in and really be able to help this team go to the next level and be consistent. Because with the new salary cap, with the new CBA, you have to make sure that you have cheap talent that you can be able to manipulate and have under control for a good amount of years before you have to give them max money or whatever it is, right? You have to be able to have roster control, roster flexibility. And with these two guys coming in, yeah, they're not basketball guys, but they are advisors, and they can be able to say, hey, listen, I know a couple of basketball dudes that would love this job. I know a couple of basketball guys that would love this job. I know a couple of great high IQ guys that can be able to really help the Lakers organization be where we want it to be. So let's go ahead and bring those guys in. So I'm excited about it. I'm saddened for the Bus family again. Like I said, I think Jeannie kicked both of her brothers down the steps and said, and looked at Mark Walton and was like, see, yeah, I did what you asked. I did what you asked, Mark. You know what I mean? They were the ones that said it. They didn't want your hair. I never said that. I never said that. You know what I mean? That shit, if this whole family drama just feels like an episode of Succession. That's what it feels like. It's sad. It's really sad. But at the end of the day, we as Laker fans, we love to see our teams do well. We want to see our teams continue the success that they've been having lately. And we want to see them be in championship contention, whether it's this year or whether it's many years to come down the road. You know what I'm saying? That's what we want. That's all we want as Laker fans. Like, you know, I know Laker fans are very crazy. Some of us are unhinged, right? Some of us are unhinged. I'm not even gonna like downplay that. Some of us are unhinged. Like we tend to want to be like, oh well, everybody wants to be a Laker. Nah, not yet. Not yet. But this is a good step. Mark Walter said, listen, can't work here. You work somewhere else. You can't work here. And Jeannie, make sure that you on your best behavior too, because you and Rob are going to be the next thing out the door if y'all don't do exactly what we want y'all to do, and make sure y'all go ahead and have the mission plan and execute the mission plan. So I am looking forward to seeing big things from the Lakers.